That's alright. I guess it's a little too much. So, welcome to Gear and Guitars with Mel. I am Mel. And what I'm here doing is actually another video on the Harley Benton TE. There you go. Harley Benton TE 80 NT. Alright, this is obviously a copy or a little love letter to the Honor TE Prinz, P-R-I-N-Z, that Honor put out in the 80s. So a little bit of backstory. You had the H.S. Anderson Mad Cat. That is the leopard guard, walnut stripe, telly style guitar with Strat pickups that was made in, I believe, Japan, and it was the guitar that Prince bought, I don't know, somewhere between 77 and 80. And it was his main guitar. I mean, all the way through, he had copies made. There, a couple of companies came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna make some stuff for you. We're gonna make a version." So H.S. Anderson was actually a pseudonym of sorts for the factory, the Morris factory overseas, and they made the Mad Cat. Prince, you know, as the story goes, saw it in a window in a music store in Minneapolis or near Minneapolis, and said, "Hey, I want that guitar, cheap, you know," because it was a overseas company nobody ever heard of. I think it was Japanese, actually. You know, he picked it up and he loved it, and it was his guitar. Defined a lot of the sound that you hear on his early stuff. You know, you see it showcased the entirety of his career. It was not the Prinz, but the Mad Cat. Then you'd see the Cloud guitar, which was, you know, the one from Purple Rain. And then you would see his cymbal guitar. Those are the three I feel like that he used mainly on a public scale. So this is a copy of the Prinz. The Prinz was a reimagining of the H.S. Anderson Mad Cat. Okay, the Prinz was made by Honor, and it was, you know, it was a good guitar, and you know, Honor made a few of them for him. I think they even they did some headstock changes. You know, different companies tried to make them for him, trying to, you know, get his guitar, his signature guitar for him and stuff like that. So I noticed this in the Harley Benton catalog a long time ago, actually, right when I first found them, Harley Benton in Tillman, UK. I saw this guitar, and the problem was, every time I went to get my hands on it, something happened. Every time. The first time I tried to order it, everything was like, cool, order went through, and then I get an email from Tillman that says, "Sorry about that, we don't have any more. Our bad." And I'm like, "All right, well, how long?" And they're like, "Right now we don't know. We're not sure when they're going to be back in our line." It's like, okay, so I got something else. I think Strat style, kind of a shreddy guitar with a Floyd. It was a great guitar. And then I went back, I saw it again. I saw it in their stock again. I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to get that." But it was on the website, and on the website it said, "Sorry, not available until." And that bummed me out. And then the last time, before now, I put the order in, they had it back in stock, and I was like, "Yeah, we're going to do this." And, you know, it was a repeat. Get the email that says, "Sorry, you know, we just don't have any more. We won't have any until this time next year." And I was like, "Oh, bummed me out." When that's actually how I ended up getting my Harley Benton semi-hollow. Because at that point I was like, "Listen, I'm getting a Harley Benton today." You know, so I ended up ordering that, and then I saw, about a month ago, I saw that they had them again, and I saw this incredibly affordable as a B stock. It took me a while. It took me a couple days of playing it to figure out why it was B stock, and it's just a little bit of discoloration right here in this part of the binding. Now, I'm thinking the poly clouded a little bit, but outside of that, I have found nothing. This thing, it's a dream. Great guitar. Okay, so let's talk a little about it. So it's the Harley Benton TE 80 NT Deluxe Series. Not sure what the difference is since I've never seen this in any other series. But I know that both of my my PRS copies from Harley Benton are considered Deluxe Series as well. Now I have had a couple from there that weren't. So I guess that really matters. And I'm going to say that the couple that I had that weren't Deluxe Series were okay guitars, but they were not as good as these guitars. These Deluxe Series guitars are good. They know the word Deluxe seems to mean something to them. What I did notice about this guitar, we'll get into it, is the neck feels a little wider than your average Tele neck, which I like. I have really big paws. It surprises me because, you know, you're doing a Prince style guitar and he was a tiny guy. But there's a lot in the hand on this neck. It's a C-profile neck. It's bolt-on Canadian maple. Nice regular bolt-on neck. You got the skunk stripe, but don't let it fool you. It is a two-piece. You got your neck itself, and it is quarter sawn. Really nice one piece at the back, but it does have a maple fretboard attached as opposed to it just being a single piece. I'm going to assume the skunk stripe is something that they just manufacture all of the necks that way, and if it's the one piece that needs, you know, the truss rod put in there, they do it, and if not, it's just an aesthetic for them. Like I said, it's a bolt-on Canadian maple neck. Alright, 21 frets, which you would expect on a T-type guitar. What I have found is, let's see, the nut width is 43 millimeter. Obviously, this coming from Germany, you know, being built overseas, it's all metric. And 43 mil is about 1.69 inches. So, almost 1.7 inch nut width, which is good because what it does is it makes the C shape of this neck, you can't really see it that well, it's not super wide, but it's a C shape that fills the hand pretty good. Okay, you're not looking at something like a 50s Les Paul or something like that that's a baseball bat, but you know, it's vintage style, so it's got that heft, which you want, man, because you want it to... You know, you want that sustain, you want that resonance, and you're going to get that from a good, solid, sturdy neck. That's why you know, you got to look and, you know, find out what your guitars are made from and find out what's to your liking. Okay, now the scale length on this is 648 millimeter. Now, obviously, like I said, all metric. 648 millimeter is just a hair over 25.5 inch. Okay, you're talking 25.511 something or other. So just over 25.5 inch. You know, on the metrics, you got that just a little bit of difference, but if you ever know what you're doing and you're needing to make changes or anything like that, it can be done. Now the radius of this fretboard here is, I was actually by eye, I was like, oh, that must be about a 12-inch radius, right? And looked on some forums and stuff like that, and come to find out after doing my research, the radius is 350 millimeter, which is actually 13.77. So it's kind of cool. It gives it a little bit of a modern feel without taking away from that that kind of a vintage vibe to it. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, so far I've been playing this for a few days. I already made one video, but I had some camera issues. That's why I'm making another one. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? What was happening on the other video was the guitar was too loud and I couldn't be heard, so I'm like, this guitar deserves another one to be done again. You're looking, let's see, woods. So, flame maple top, true flame maple top, it really is. I don't know if I can get any of the flame in there on the camera, but if I can, it will probably be somewhere in the likes of there. I like it because I have... from Harley Benton, I have the Paradise Amber Flame, which is incredibly crazy PRS style flaming, and I also have a lighter tobacco sunburst on my other one. You know, so I like the fact that this is a kind of a more subdued flame. And when you were looking at any Mad Cats or any Prinzes back in the day, you know, it all depended on the kind of there's a good shot. Kind of maple they got into, whether you could see, you know, super amount of burling or if it was just a minimal. And then what you have is some wings. Look at that. Two-piece back, very blatant two-piece back with a walnut stripe. That is swamp ash. Beautiful grain swamp ash. I mean, I wish the camera could do it justice. When you look at it in person, it's all gorgeous. So the top is book matched maple. The rest of the body is I don't know if that would be book matched, but a nice even two pieces of swamp ash, which gives it amount of heft. You know, it's up there with one of my Les Pauls. Maybe not my heaviest one, but it's there. And black binding. Now, a lot of people will tell you, well, Prince's guitar has leopard binding. That's actually not true. The original H.S. Anderson Mad Cat did have black binding as well. You'll notice that the pickguard is tortoise of sorts. Tortoise of shorts? Yeah. It's a tortoise shell of sorts. Which is why this is absolutely a copy of the Prinz and not a copy of the Mad Cat. We'll get to that a little later. You know, and you got your regular telly setup as far as electronics go. All right. You got your three-way switch, doing everything it's supposed to do, switching things, 3 ways. All right, and you got your volume and your tone that actually on this are very, very effective. I was very surprised to find. Now, I don't have a problem with tone and their Harley Benton stuff. I think it's all pretty good. I like it for the price, and the quality beats the price out every time. You hear that compression? So we'll go full tone, right? This is on the neck pickup. Now, what I want you to listen for, I'm gonna hit the note for you, and then I'm gonna roll the tone off, and you'll hear a part just in the swim of it where the compression kicks in, and it makes it a really creamy note. So. You know, and you need that now. That on the bridge pickup, on any kind of telly type guitar, it's going to be necessary. You know what I mean? To have a really good working tone now. Because they can be really bright. I play through a pretty bright amp. But we roll it. Oh, see that? The volume cleans up really well, so here, let's do some dirt. So you got a nice spanky crunch tone when you're not going just full out distortion. That's how the tone knobs. But what I wanted to show you was how effective. So you're down on the bridge, really bitey, you know, a whole lot of kick. It's pushing the amp a little bit with a little bit of crunch. All right, but then the thing that I realized, you don't find this a lot with affordable guitars, and I'll be the first to admit it. You don't find pots in electronics that, you know, their job very well. Just to show you what I mean, we'll just hit a nice G. Now I'll roll up. That difference. So there's not really a lot that this thing isn't giving you. Especially if you're looking for Prince tones, you know what I mean? And when I say looking for Prince tones, people forget that though it looks so much like a telly, it's not a telly. It's a T-type, but these are Strat-size single coils, which, you know, your layman might be like, you know, still single coils, telly still has single coils. What's the difference really? Huge difference. The telly single coil that you see in beautiful butterscotch classic vibe tellies like this, you know, you get that, you get the ashtray bridge, okay, with the with the brass saddles in there, okay, and then you got that bridge pickup that is sitting there, and under that bridge pickup you have a nice hefty sized brass plate, all right, and that gives you all of that spank, you know, all of that twicky twang that you get, and all that chicken picking, you know, kind of down home southern blues twang. That's the only way I know how to describe it. You know what I mean? And when you're in that bridge pickup, that's what you're going to get. I play this mainly in the middle and on the neck. And again, you know, when you got your regular telly, you got that lipstick neck pickup, which is a great pickup. This thing is amazing, okay? But it doesn't have the output that a Strat style single coil has. And down on the bridge, that is not, that single coil at the bridge isn't sitting there on a plate with a brass plate, giving it more high end, giving it more shrill or more treble. It's also, just like the top pickup, attached to a pick guard, a plastic pick guard, celluloid if it was an original. And you got a hardtail bridge that's just a straight up hardtail bridge. There's no ashtray, no brass saddles. And don't those look great together? Let's look at those headstocks. Yeah, classic vibe, and Harley Benton doing the thing. And I think we will get into I won't say a shootout, but maybe a comparison video of these two, because I think that'll be fun to show you what a real telly does and then what the Prinz telly does. They do similar things, but they're different. All right. Let me talk to you a little about the pickups that came in here. These are two Wilkinson Alnico Vintage. The Wilkinson Alnico pickup line, they're good, man. I've got, you know, obviously a lot of Bentons that came with Wilkinsons. I've changed some out. I'm a GFS guy for the most of the time. Artec, I should say. I like GFS because I'm out of Massachusetts. They're out of Massachusetts. I like to support. But, you know, they do have their stuff made, I believe, in the Artec factory. And I've become a big fan of the Artec factory when it comes to pickups. They make GFS, they make Artec, the Giovanni's that were the Artec, you know, higher end brand. I believe they do Dragonfire out there, and I think there might be maybe Tone Rider. I'm not sure about that though. But there's a couple of them, and they do a killer job. And as I've played a lot of GFS, but when I started getting these Wilkinson pickups, man, I started realizing what the talk was about. They're really great. Let's give you a run through of some tones here. Get you see what we're working with. So this is down in the bridge. Pardon me, guys. I'm trying to kick a cold here. All right, so that was the bridge. Nice and clean without being shrill. There's a warmth? English. There's a warmth to the Strat single coil that you don't quite get from a regular telly single coil. All right, now here's the middle position. And this will be the neck. tones out of these pickups, and I mean, you're talking about, when it comes to Wilkinson stuff, you're not talking about extremely high priced things. They have some higher price stuff for their line, but still comparatively to all the other guys you got out there, it's super affordable, but quality. Trev Wilkinson, he's doing his thing, man. He's got his name on something good. They're good stuff. You know me, if you've watched this channel, I like affordable gear. You know what I mean? I don't believe in you have to pay $1 billion to sound like $1 billion. You know what I mean? I feel like we all have our own taste. Some people want to go super high end. I would like some super high end stuff. I have some mid grade stuff, but I've had some really high end gear, and I think that's what drove me to this. Is I've had a lot of high end gear that you pay a bunch of money for, and it's great. It sounds great, and you absolutely know why you paid that. And then you go jam with your buddy, and he's got a guitar that cost him $400, and you're like, oh well, let me check out your $400 guitar, and then you play it, and it's butter. And you're like, wait, hold on, something happened here. And I've learned that with enough knowledge and enough effort, affordable instruments can be amazing instruments. This guitar, and that's why I'm going to do the comparison. I've gotten some questions as to how this holds up against something like a Classic Vibe Tele, which is one of the best affordable guitars I think you can get your hands on. It is a Telecaster straight up. And I'll be honest, not just because I own it. I worked at a guitar store. I won't say the name. I'm sure I'll slip it out one day. But and I played the Classic Vibe a lot, and I was like, man, this is a great guitar. And I was like, you know what? Let me pick up a Mexican. It says Fender on the headstock, proper Fender guitar, and I played about 4 or 5 of those in succession. And then I played the Classic Vibes, and I promise you, no lie, the Classic Vibe won every time. There's a little more attention to detail in the neck. The frets felt better. The pickups were actually a little softer, which I liked out of a Tele. It tamed it a little bit. You'll hear it plenty. I actually have a video on my channel of the Tele, but we'll get into it when we do our comparison. So, there's not a lot that I can say about this, except that I think it's a holy crap of a deal and a great guitar. And I'm a mixed kid. I'm a mixed kid. Started playing guitar in my mid-teens. So Prince was a huge influence on me. I liked, singing and playing guitar. I liked songwriting. I liked putting together music. So seeing that, there was another mixed guy out there that could jam on guitar but funk it up and, just do all these wonderful things that at the time when I was a kid I thought maybe I wasn't allowed to do. It was huge influence on me. So being able to get this is awesome, but it's not done. So what I've decided is I'm going to go ahead and do the whole transformation. Right over here I have this set, 2 GFS Neovin noiseless pickups. Because Prince did use the Bill Lawrence? Yeah, the Bill Lawrence and the Fender noiseless in his first when he, the first one he had to use the Hohner stock pickups. But when he got a name and people were building them for him, he went to the Bill Lawrence pickups. And I've heard a lot of demos and did a lot of research on the GFS Neovin, and I think I might get a facsimile without having to spend a crap ton of money. So I'm going to try those first. If not, I'll get my hands on a set of Lawrence's if I have to. But you know me, I'm going to try the affordable method. And I figured when I get to it, you guys might be curious about how those sound. And another reason that I'm using those pickups is because GFS has just done the quick plug system, which is literally it looks like a 3.5 millimeter, headphone plug. And the way they're set up, everything's wired up and ready to go. You just plug it all into where it goes, and I'm like, that is awesome. I've been working on guitars for years. I've built custom guitars. I'm sure I'll do it more and more. But the idea that you can have a passive pickup set that you can install the way you install EMGs, it's no solder, just plug it all in, that's awesome. So I'm going to give them a shot. Hopefully they're good. I'm fingers crossed, I'm hoping that they're amazing. I'm going to throw that in there. I have some Fender locking tuners that I'm going to be tossing on that bad boy. I was actually going to be using them on one of my other guitars. I think I originally planned on putting it on my Classic Vibe, but you know what? I don't want to take anything from my Classic Vibe. I think I'm going to leave it stock for as long as I can until I can't take it no more. So I'm going to put those on. I got some roller string trees. I'm going to leave the nut. It's a fake bone, plastic bone, whatever, Ivorette. But it's cut well, and I think, with some lube, it should be fine. What I am going to do down here on the bridge is I'm going to install some Graphtec string saver saddles that I happened upon from my good friend Sean over at Graphtec. What's up, dude? He hooked me up so I could finish out the set. Had a mishap where one ran away. And I was actually going to put those on my 60s inspired Strat. Decided those are going to go on this too. I'm just going to do this all up, man. So I'm going to change the tuners to the locking tuners. I'm going to put the noiseless pickups in, the new electronic system. I'm going to change these saddles, and then the pièce de résistance is I'm waiting for out of UK, a place called originalscratchplates.com. They are out of Great Britain, and they are sending me right now the custom leopard print Mad Cat scratch plate, and jack plate, because that's how it was. Now, it's tough. If you're ever looking to do this kind of guitar and you get out there and you take a look, you'll see how hard it is to find a proper Mad Cat scratch plate. It is. There's a lot of facsimiles out there. They don't quite cut it. These guys over here at Original Scratch Plates, they even emailed me a PDF of templates for the Harley Benton TE 80NT, because this is the guitar you want to mod, right? You know, if you want to go without spending $1 billion, this is the one. So that's going to be a series of videos up on this channel coming soon. Going to be awesome. All right, so I mean that's it. Like I said, TE 80NT. Just a little bit of trivia there. The Prinz model from Hohner is the TE Prinz. So I guess TE is standard for Telecaster. And this is a Princecaster. I want to make that the title of the video. Neck, you see they got a little slight sheen to the neck, but it is satin finish, which is great. They didn't go overboard on the amber, and I like that. But it's, man, they did a really good job. I mean, and let me tell you, this is a B stock, so I got a deal because of that little discoloration. This is $100 and change. $100 and change, dude. And I'm going to put, let's call it 100 into it. So again, 250 seems to be my magic number for affordable guitars. Again, I'm, you know, topping out around 250. It's going to be a ridiculous guitar. A ridiculous guitar. And I've already got a couple of people interested in me making them for them, and I might just get some of these, mod them up, and help some cats out. So let's just play a little bit, right? Sound familiar? Love come quick, love come in a hurry. There's bees in the tempo tonight. They don't care when they kick, just as long as they hurt you. There's bees in the tempo tonight. Yeah, it gets the tones, man. You know what I mean? It gets you in the park where you want to be, without question. Oh, let me go off frame here. Pick went flying. Speaking of picks, as a little blurb, so this is a Graphtec Tusk pick. It's the 1 mil, and it's the gray one, so it's the deep tone. I might do a video on these one day. I don't know how you do a video on picks, but these things are great. I usually play, give me one. I play a lot of really thick, big 3 mil picks. So when I saw this, I'm like, dude, there's nothing in the world that I'm gonna do with a 1 mil pick. It's tiny, you know. This thing's great. I love my Prinz, man. So that's been my video on the Harley Benton TE 80NT. last video I did some high gain sounds and stuff like that, which the guitar can do. I'm not going to do it in this time in this video because I just don't think that's what it's for. You know what I mean? It's not where it lives and breathes, just screaming metal or anything like that. If you want to know where this guitar lives and breathes, I don't want to just go on the cliche, hey man, it's a complete funk machine. But hey man, it's a complete funk machine. Thank you again for checking out Gear and Guitars with Mel. I am Mel. Smash the like button, share, subscribe, tell your friends, troll me. I don't care, man. I just like the attention. How do you think I make these videos? Like talking to myself in a room so that you guys can talk back to me and I know that I'm not alone. So I want you guys to stick around because we're going to do some fun stuff coming up on this channel. I'm going to show you the transformation of this into a H. Benton Mad Cat. It's actually cool because I got myself a little logo from online that says H. Benton Mad Cat in the same font as the H.S. Anderson font. It's cool. And it's cool because I don't want to take the branding away. It's a Harley Benton guitar. They did a great job. And I don't want to take that from them. I just want to do some adjustments, but still show that, you know, they made some quality stuff. And maybe if we push real hard, we can get them to make it so we don't even have to make all the changes. Yeah, I'm going to change the world. One guitar mod at a time. But it's going to be some good stuff. We're going to do the transformation of this here. We're going to do the comparison of this to the classic Vibe Telly, you know, and that should be fun. And then, I know I've talked about it a few times, I've been planning it. We're going to get into some pedal videos. It's coming down. We're going to be doing some plexi pedal videos, some Brown sound Marshall style pedals. Because I play through a super clean Bugera V55, so I like to get my Marshall tones from my stomp boxes. Got a buddy of mine who is hooking me up. He's actually building me a custom pedal board. The perks of doing work for people and getting guitar work done and stuff like that, and it should be nice. We got a lot of stuff happening on Gear and Guitars with Mel, and I hope you guys are around to check it out. Alright? Thank you for, I don't know, listening to me babble for a half hour. Have a good one, guys.